Okay. Welcome you guys to our Body Electric weekly webinar. We are rounding out the end of March, which is crazy. This year is flying by. I'm super excited tonight to have a friend of mine, Jama Nelson, speak on our call. She's a Star Diamond coach. She's a rock star with Success Club. You're going to hear all about how she really puts a lot of different activities and just a different approach to her business. I think that especially different from what our team typically talks about, right? She's going to talk to you about how she got started with methods other than social media. So I know that some of you ask questions all the time about, you might have a coach or you might be interested in doing things in addition to social media. She's going to touch on that a little bit. And I'm just excited for whatever it is she wants to bring because I think she's an absolute sweetheart. She and I have the same upline, Julie Voris. So we're all part of Sparta Nation. And so that's how I got to know Jama. She spoke at an event, I don't know when that was, within the last year or so. And I remember thinking at that event that we needed to hear from her. Our team needed to hear from her and hear her perspective and her sort of different ways of making this business work. So I'll let her share with you, how much of a rock star she is. You're gonna know that by the time she's done tonight. But I'm gonna keep you guys, you need to just check the weekly announcements for our weekly announcements because I don't want to take any precious time away from her tonight. So check our weekly announcements on our website if you have any questions about upcoming events like Super Saturday. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jama. So take it away, my friend.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me. I am Jama Nelson. I've been a coach it'll be 3 years in May, Star Diamond, and hopefully that'll be changing soon. I've got some things working for me, so hopefully I'll be moving up. Really, when I first started as a coach, I couldn't even I didn't hit Success Club 5 because I thought I don't know anybody. I had just got on Facebook and people my age really seriously weren't. And I'll be 61 in August and, I didn't start till I was 58. Or almost 58. So what I was learning to do was nothing that was working for me. And I was able to get coaches, discount coaches, but to hit Success Club, I thought, I can't do this. I don't know people. I can't do it. So I just didn't really try until, I got myself to Diamond, dropped to Ruby, and I thought, I quit because I can't do this. 1 week, one drop, I'm like, I'm done. I'm through. And, Julie messaged me and we talked and I thought, wait, I'm going to give this. That was in October. And I thought, I'm going to give this to the end of the year and just I'm really going to see what I can do. And I thought, this is my last shot because no one thought I could do it. Like my family, you know how that goes. Everyone's like, why are you doing this? So really what I did, my first thing I really started doing besides trying to reach out and talk to people face to face, and that's what I do. Face-to-face, that's the best thing I can do. But I also started thinking ahead. Like, in December, I'm talking to people about what are you going to be doing in March? December, I'm talking about spring break. Right now, I'm talking about Easter. I want people to think, where do you want to be? Where do I want to be in my fitness and my nutrition? What are my plans? I'm talking about Memorial Day. There's going to be graduations. So I'm thinking that far out in advance and planning my groups that I'm going to do. And because I feel like if people are thinking that much further, if they're thinking right now, they think it's too late. But if you get them thinking down the road and they think, okay, I've got 3 months before this event that, is important to me, they're a little more interested in it, in my opinion. I mean, it's worked well for me. And then when it gets close to time, like because there's going to be graduations coming up and open houses, and Junie knows this is probably the first time it clicked for me. I go prepared everywhere I go. I travel with my containers. I travel with packets of Shakeology. I travel with my 21-day fix book because I truly think that no matter what fitness program you are doing, it all starts with the nutrition. where I teach is at a gym, and those people are not going to stop going to the gym, but they do want to dial in their nutrition. So I think that's where it all starts, is the nutrition factor. So I always have those things with me. The first time that I did at an open house, I don't go and talk about it, but if anyone there follows you on social media, somebody's going to ask you. And if one person asks you, everybody else is going to gather around because they want to see, what is this? What are you talking about? And that's when you have to be prepared. The first time I did that, I sold 5 challenge packs, and 2 of those challengers are my coaches today. So, just those things alone, if you think ahead, you don't lead with business, but be prepared for business. Go there because, you're going to a celebration. But if you're prepared, I'm telling you, people are always interested, especially women and it's the nutrition. Again, a workout program, at least people my age, they don't care as much about it. They care about losing weight, and they think, I can't work out. Well, once they start the nutrition part of it, yeah, they can. Then they're more willing to try if you get them there. If you get them with the Shakeology, then, they're starting to feel better, and, they will try different things. And then they'll ask about the other programs and want to do different ones. But so that's pretty much what I do, is always work a month in advance. And then on Success Club, my end of the month is the 10th of the month. Because I cannot live with the pressure of, oh my God, I've got 36 hours. I haven't hit Success Club. Right now I'm a Success Club 5 Legend, and next month I'll be Success Club 10 Legend. And, 10, it's non-negotiable with me. Because I have to know early in the month that I'm where I want to be. And by the time I hit the 10th of the month, for example, this month, the first of the month, the very first day of the month, I had Success Club 10. By the 4th of the month, I was Success Club 10. Now I'm 12 because I got 2 random. And then, I'll put the rest of them under my husband's account to, build that. But if I always think of the 10th of the end of my month, then I get comfortable, then I feel good, and then I can talk to people and they don't feel like I'm desperate. Because it does feel desperate at the true end of the month. If you're not there, you are desperate to get those points and to work it. So if I get it all in my mind, my end of the month is the 10th, then I relax with my challenge groups. I can, relax with talking to people and not be in such a panic to get my points. And that makes a big difference, in the way I feel about it. Another thing that I do, as I said, I talk face to face with people as much as I possibly can, because they look in your eyes, they believe you, they know you're serious and you're not just trying to make it sell. I will, as easy as it is to go to the mailbox, if it's someone local that wants Shakeology, I'll go to their workplace. I'll walk into their office. I'll go all the way in with my Shakeology bag and my packets and hand to them, because then everyone else is like, okay, what's that about? What is that you're getting? What are you doing? And I did that one time with a girl, walked into the office, and by the time I was done, the whole office had signed up for a challenge. And within the week, the office manager became a coach, because she was like, oh, now wait a minute. I can see that, right off the bat, this is going to make money, and, it's a good thing. So the whole office was, they just gathered around. At first it's like, okay, you're kind of embarrassed, or you think, oh, it's putting people off. No, it's, I hit the front reception area and they're like, would you like to leave something for her? No, 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 I want to see her. I want to go all the way back to wherever she's working, and I want to hand deliver these packets. And then, of course, you know, Susie is thrilled that, you know, you went to that much trouble. So, you know, it might be easier to drop it in the mail, but it's better. It's a better use of your time, again, to do a face-to-face and represent what you're doing, and then know what you're talking about once you're there. Again, be prepared in your Shakeology bag. Make sure you've got your 21-day fix book for the nutrition. Make sure you've got more Shakeology packets, and know what it is. I mean, inside and out. If you have not ever watched that Shay Stanford Shakeology, the 2.0, you need to. I have watched it probably 5 times, and write and rewrite and learn, and you know, just the nutritional portion of that, she breaks it down to, you know, you understand everything about it so much more than just kind of reading about it or kind of hitting on it. It's amazing to me. I'm going to flip through my notes here to make sure I'm not missing anything. Then, you know, another suggestion that I say is, once I get one person, then I just automatically say, okay, do you have a friend? You know, let's find a friend. As much as I can help you do this with my challenge group, if you bring someone with you, even if you offer them something, you know, the cookbook or a gift card or something, but, you know, explain to them, if you really bring someone with you, you're going to have even more success because you guys are going to be working together. Besides with me, besides in a group, you know, when you team up with somebody, it's always better. You always stick with it more. I do challenges where I said, like the office husband and wife challenger that I did, I think it was in August one year. You know, I started talking to him in July. I had 36 Success Club points from doing husband and wife, because I'm like, okay, one of you can get 21-day fix, one of you can get 21-day fix extreme, or some other program. And I know, and probably you guys push the streaming now because so many do that. But you know, the people my age still like the DVDs. They don't do the streaming as much. So, and again, just the Shakeology is 2 points now, so that's even easier. You can say one of you get, you know, Beachbody on Demand with the Shakeology. One of you, you know, you both need Shakeology. Even if it's in the same household, you both need your own bag the first month. You know, it's so important. So right there, they both sign up, get it, and, you know, then, you know, they're going to be successful because you're going to make sure that they are. If it's a mother, I say, how about the daughter? If it's a daughter, how about the mother? If, you know, how about siblings? How about friends? How about, I've had family challenges after, well, Christy Sweet, when after I'd done that talk, she did her family at a family reunion, and they all signed up and did a challenge. That was like her biggest month to date at the time. So, I mean, just ask and talk about it and go, you know, get people excited about it, bringing more people in. So to me, it's like, if I get one, I need 2. So that's always my challenge. I've got this one now. I'm going to get this second person. And usually, I mean, it's most of the times you really can, if you just set it up for that. You know, offer in your mind, say, well, we're going to be doing siblings or a husband and wife team or whatever it is. Invite everybody in, but focus on, you know, like a certain group of people. You guys are doing that for the runners, Jenny. I mean, that to me is brilliant. And even a lot of my coaches, well, one of my coaches at, you know, the last event was talking to Chris, like, about the running and what to do. And that, you know, people do notice that. So let me see where else. Yeah, back to school, college kids. You know, another thing that I will say that I do that might be a little bit different is they say take your time and build a relationship, and I get that. But here's another thing that I say. When someone's excited and interested, that's when you need to jump on board with them and all out, pull them into your excitement. Pull them in, because if you wait too long, they're going to talk to other people and they're going to say, but I know this other thing that you just put on a patch and you take a drink, or, the Advocare or the Thrive and all this crazy stuff. And then they'll start second guessing their excitement. I mean, and they will, and they'll start backing away, and you're trying to, get them back in to that excitement. In my opinion, you've got one shot when somebody's really excited and they really want to do it. And it's like when I go shopping, if I go in to Macy's or any place else, and I'm going in to buy a specific shirt or a specific thing, and I pick that up, and then I start walking around and shopping, and I'll pick up 4 or 5 other things. By the time I'm getting towards the register, I'm like, I feel so guilty, and I start putting it all back. I took too much time. So my guilt of the money I'm spending, or, do I really need this, talks me right back out of it. And that's why the way I work is get them quick. There's a 30-day money back guarantee. So they really don't have anything to lose. So I say, when you're excited, when they see you're excited, they get excited. Get them signed up, get them doing something. Because, the other thing that I know people will say to me, well, what if they do send it back? Well, what if they don't ever purchase? I mean, really? How many times? One time I had one person return a challenge pack because she thought Shakeology was making her sick. And she had a brain tumor. Like, that was, yeah. So that was, how weird is that? But that was the only time I've ever had anyone send anything back. Because you don't, especially women. If you get it home, you're going to keep it most of the time. And that's where the 30-day money-back guarantee comes in. I say that most spouses or partners, they don't really care if you're spending the money on something to make you feel better. What they care about is they've seen, if you struggled, they've seen it over and over and over. You buy something, it doesn't work, you lose the money, you're disappointed, you're depressed. You know how that cycle goes. But if you can assure that partner that, look, if it doesn't work, I get my money back, they're going to be on board too, because they just want to see you succeed. They want to see the one they love have success and not go through that cycle once again. So to me, that's, another important thing. And then another thing is know what you're talking about. Know the nutrition. If you're going to talk about the 21-day fix, you really need to know it. You need to know it. You need to learn it. I can tell you, if I don't know the answer after 2 years, I can find it in about 2 minutes, because I'm going to Google it. I'm going to find it. I'm going to know what it is they're asking. I'm going to have an answer for them. And then they can look at you in the eye. Anything that they're asking you, which again is why I say face-to-face is so important. I will have people say, I believe you because, I see it in your face. I believe you believe it, so I want to believe it. That's important. And for other people, I'm telling you, I have gone to their house and sat with those containers and showed them, talked about them. I don't care if it takes away from my time. If that helps them succeed, I'm going to do that. I've grocery shopped, done the first round of grocery shopping. I mean, you can't do that with everybody, but there are those that it's going to make a difference. I've had food prep here at my house. Bring your stuff. Here's what we're going to do. Bring your stuff. Let's do it the first time through. You can do it with us. It takes a little time, but how it pays me back is when they succeed and they feel good about what I've helped them with, I will have people come to me and say, I want you to be my coach, because everyone tells me you're so hands-on. So right there, they're bringing them to me for that reason. So if I invest a little more time than, what I'd like to, sometimes it comes back to me like twofold. So, that I think is, I'm checking the time. I am talking a lot here, sorry. That is like super important to me, that you do that. And then you're wear and share. I go to the grocery store, like, Shakeology shirt on. I forget sometimes because I just put this stuff on, or when I teach, it's always, my cup is always there. Everything that represents it, people will always come up to me at the grocery store and say, so I have to ask, what's 21 Day Fix? And then be prepared to talk about it. Have, the little flyers in your purse. Have your Shakeology bag. Have things that you can explain to them, your information on it. And, I have had complete strangers that I've connected with, and they bought a challenge pack and gotten in the group. So, and then it goes to your running your challenge groups. Because I think we kind of talked about that, didn't we, Jenny, that I would talk a little. My challenge groups, and I know there's, set things that you say, drink your water, get your sleep, but why? Why do you need to drink your water? I research it. I'll even go to the top coach pages and research them, Google them. I'll research, why do you need water? Why does sleep affect? Why do you need probiotics? Why do you? And, sometimes it's going to be a super long post, but it's information that, why are the scales? Well, the scales aren't your friends, and sometimes your weight's going to fluctuate. Why is that, though? Why, they need to know why when you start working out, your weight may go up because, your water fluid is going to those muscles to repair them. I start talking them through that, because I think, okay, if this is our short explanation, then I'm going to, I want to expand on it. And, you can start right even from what Beachbody gives us, but research it and know more about it, expand it, because then people understand, oh, that makes perfect sense. Why does lack of sleep? Why can I be doing everything right, and lack of sleep keeps me from losing the weight I want to lose? Well, you can bet if that's what's happening in their life, they're going to try to get more sleep, or they're going to try to drink more water. They're going to do the things to be doing the complete package and make it work. So to me, that, and, just like Jenny, recipes, you can't give people enough recipes or meal plans. Put it in your files, I know a lot of people will do a different challenge group every month. I'll run one for a few months until I think, okay, it's starting to die out. Then I'm saying, okay, we're going to move. Who all wants to come? And the ones that, have been there, they're buying Shakeology every month. They are still in this process. They come with us, and, it's a whole new group. My coaches can put whoever they want in. We've got other coaches that we all work together, and, we'll add more. Like the group we've got right now, I think has 148 people. Does everybody participate? No, they don't. You think you can see who views are a lot of them viewing it? Yeah, they are. They see it every day, but they may not be talking. And then my job for my people, at least once a week, I've got my list of everyone who's in there. I send them a private message. How are you doing? And I may, depending on how many I have in there, I may break that through a few days, because that takes time too. But I just say, how are you doing? Everything going okay? Do you need anything? What can I do to help you? And most of the time I'll get an answer. So those things all take a little more time, but, again, that's what we're here for. That's what we do. So I think that's kind of about all I've got.
No, that's awesome, Jama. I just took like 4 pages of notes, and I actually, before we open this up for questions, I want to just tell you guys what I took away from this, because this is the second time that I've heard her talk about this same topic. So there were a few things that came up a second time, and you guys know how when you hear it the second time, you know, you can have like a totally different experience. So I want to tell you what I heard. First of all, she started off by telling us that she began as a coach at age 58 and she's 61. So let's just give her like a virtual raise the roof. That's awesome. And so, you know, I want you guys to pay attention to that, because there are people of all ages, all backgrounds, all, you know, everything that could be or are interested in this opportunity. Okay, so first of all, I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but she says she asks the question, where do you want to be? Where do you want to be, right? So she said in your fitness and your nutrition, so forth. So I thought that was really powerful, because you also said, think ahead, not now. If it's now, they think it's too late for them. How brilliant is that, right? Like, to always be thinking a couple steps ahead of where you are, so that's what you're advertising for, right? Because people can think that far ahead. They can commit to something that's maybe that far ahead. They might not be able to make a decision for your deadline for your group by Monday, right? So I thought that was a really smart thing to say too. Be prepared for business. Always be prepared for business. These are just different things I heard her say.
Can you elaborate on that last bit a little bit more? Sorry, say
that again.
Can you elaborate on that last thing? Not the don't leave with the business thing, right before that, when you're talking about where do you want to be and thinking ahead?
Yeah. I think
that a little more.
So it's kind of very similar to and I think, Jama, this is what you mean by this. Like in the March Madness group that we have going on right now, we've talked about planning your challenge groups well in advance and knowing what's coming up. But I think it's interesting that she chooses to look another month ahead. So when she's talking to people, she's probably closing them on something that's going to be longer term, right? So not just right now. So you're saying, like, if you're talking to somebody and you say, hey, I need to know right now, or I have this group starting on, now, you might be pressuring them too much. They might not be ready right now, but they might be able to commit to the purchase right now for something that starts next month. So you're kind of giving them a little bit more time. Is that right?
Yeah, I do. Plus, I also, as we're talking, because I'm already thinking my challenge group 3 months down the road, that also gives them time to think, okay, if I don't do it right now, she's still going to have something going next month. And I just think, I try to get them to think, okay, so you've got, whatever it is, the 4th of July. I mean, I don't think quite that far, but, you've got a wedding in June that, if you start soon, maybe next month, then, by the time you get to that point, you're going to be, you're really going to be where you want to be.
Right.
You're really going to make a dent in what you want, because sometimes if you put pressure on them, right, it starts in 2 weeks. Well, if they're not prepared, like you say, Jenny, in 2 weeks, they're probably going to go, well, it's not for me.
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard this before, but I hear this all the time. Well, I can't do that group because I'm going on vacation that week. Have you guys ever heard that before? Right. So I think it's smart that you're setting the tone. First of all, you're consistent, so people know that you always have something running that they can be part of. But I think what we're referring to for this particular thing is that you have a pipeline that's constantly moving, so that when it's the first of the month, you're able to lock in Success Club on the first day of the month, because you've been talking to so many people the month before that you're ready to lock those people in. Now, you might have been talking to them for 3 or 4 months, but you're closing them early on in the month, so that you can hit that goal. Yeah.
And because I know, I've got Success Club early, I take my time in talking to people then. I take my time so that by the end of the month, when they're like, yeah, maybe I will start if your group starts the 2nd week of the month, because right there in my mind as a business person, I'm thinking, okay, on April 1st, this is when we're going to sign you up. On April 1st, boom, boom, boom. That's why on March the 1st, I had 3 people, boom, boom, boom. By the end of the night, I knew I was at Success Club 6. But, I have to, for myself, I have to be at 10. Mm-hmm. So, but I still had a couple more that I knew were coming on board. and I hit it well before the 10th of the month. But
Right.
that's because, you know, and if they want to purchase right now and it's the 25th of the month and, you know, they want to do it right now, then by all means jump on board. You know, I'll put you under my husband, probably doesn't matter where I put him, but I know I've got my points. I won't drag someone out, but if I can groom them and talk to them,
Right.
and, you know, get them prepared. So where I say, okay, first, let's sign you up first of the month, because we're really not going to start until it might be 2 weeks on.
Yeah.
Because I do have a group running at all times. I can pop them in anytime I want. And
Well, what I took from that, which I think is, I mean, I feel like I strive for this myself too. And I hear a lot of other, Star Diamond coaches say this, that you treat, like you said, my end of the month is the 10th of the month, right? And I'm the exact same way. Like, I'm shooting for Success Club 10 by the 10th. It doesn't always happen, but you better believe that I'm at least halfway, if not further, right? Like, I'm so much closer to treat it that way. So I think what you're saying is the 11th through the 31st is when you're forming, you're building relationships, you're filling your pipeline, you're doing those, sort of like invitations on your social media, you're starting to sort of fill that funnel. And then when it's the first of the month, man, you are following up with all those people that that are committed, and you're locking them in at the first week of the month, which is, I think, very, very smart. Cool.
And then they're ready because, they haven't felt pressured like me. Well, I
Right.
just check them back.
Right. It's not your agenda. It's their agenda. You're making sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm relaxed because I've already hit it. So I'm calmer, and I come across as, someone that wants to help you, not someone that wants to sell you.
Right. Well, yeah. So I don't know about you guys, but like my overall takeaway from this, which is how I feel every time I hear Jama speak, is that, I mean, you guys can just sense from hearing her for 30 minutes, like her genuineness. I don't know if genuineness is a word, but I really feel like her authenticity and her genuineness, it feels weird to say that word, but anyway, I feel like it really comes through. And I feel like just in her, for 30 minutes, her talking to us about what she does for her people, wouldn't you sign up with Jama? I mean, let's be real, right? Like, she is giving, I think I wrote down, like, you're so hands-on, right? That's a compliment that you receive often. So that tells you that the value that she has to offer. The fact that she's educating for challenge groups, right? Like, when she says, I ask the question, why? I'm not just telling them to drink water. I'm teaching them why it's important to drink water. So she's educating them as opposed to just motivating them. I think there's a difference there. I thought it was interesting that you said, your generation is interested in nutrition more so than fitness. I have definitely found that to be true. I know even with my own parents, I can get them to drink the shake, or I can get them to make dietary changes, but they're not interested in the workouts. So I thought that was it's something that's obvious in my mind, but I'd never really thought of it that way as far as how to position myself.
It is true, though. Yeah, really is true.
Yeah, so I see you as sort of like the queen of deepening relationships. It seems like you've probably got that mastered. You know what I mean? Like, if we could take a sneak peek into your like Facebook Messenger, or for you, maybe it's more face-to-face. If we could, hear more about what you're doing in those conversations, I think what we would come away with is that your end goal is always going to be to just deepen that relationship to the next level, so that this person has trust with you, so that they see the value that you have to offer in the challenge group or even in a one-on-one situation. So there's no question on their end, probably when they make that commitment, there's no question that they've made the right decision, because they feel like they're in good hands. So, okay, so I have a couple more things, and then I'm going to open it up really for questions. Okay, hang on. First of all, I caught this really quick thing that you said that I don't even think you meant as a main point. But I liked what you said about how you do those, I've heard you say this before, where you do like the spouse challenge groups or the offices or the mother-daughter combinations. Did you guys pick up on the fact that she alluded to the fact that she's the one suggesting that to people? So it's not necessarily that she's advertising a spouse challenge group or a mother-daughter challenge group, which she could be doing, but it's also that she's the one suggesting it. So when there's someone that says they're interested, she's suggesting, would your husband be interested in joining you? I'm assuming you're asking that question, right, Jama?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, so you know this person well enough to know. Yeah.
How about your best friend? How about, I have, well, I have two friends that I've known for 2 weeks that they both signed up as discount coaches.
Uh-huh.
Right off the bat, after we just talked about, and when one did it, one wasn't going to do it. I mean, one wanted to because she's like, I want the discount. You know, we talked about things. She really has goals in her weight loss, and she's young, which surprised me that she was drawn to me, but she was. She's early 20s, but and she'd taken Insanity, and she was like, you kicked my butt. I'm like, I'm so happy at my age I can do that. You know, I love that. But she wanted a discount, the other one didn't, and because her friend signed up for it, she's like, oh heck, I'll just do it too. I'm like, okay. And the one that wasn't, she said, okay, I am never going to stop drinking Shakeology. And now they're on their Facebook pages just now doing this themselves, talking about it all the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're already, you know, they're already drawing people to them because they're just talking about their journey, and they play off each other. I'm like, they're not going to be discount coaches for very long.
Right.
Because they're already representing what they're doing, and they're showing their journey, and you know, their friends are like, I need to know more about this.
Yeah. I
had one girl that signed up. I wish I could find this real quick, and I would probably be backward, but it just blew me away. She signed up as a coach. She just quit her job because she's in school full time, and her husband's like, stay home. They have 4 kids. And she signed up as a coach, and was sending some stuff home with her husband. And I said to him, does she like coffee? And he said, oh, she loves coffee. So I sent home some, gosh darn, I wish I could find it. I sent home a few packets of the cafe latte. I thought, well, maybe she'll like this. Oh my gosh, this girl and she's done other businesses before, like a jewelry or something, but she loved it. I'm starting to send her some information on becoming a new coach. She put so much stuff on here, which is great. But, oh yeah, the first thing that I see, I know this is backward, but you see how this is. This is super simple. And it says, who likes Starbucks Frappuccinos? The first 5 people to comment will get free product mailed to them. Seriously, she ordered Shakeology, the 24-pack. She had already ordered it, where I'm getting ready to walk into a meeting with her to show her how to get into her back office. Like, this girl is going to rock. And she's like, this is so good and so much better for them. She had, within like 2 hours, 43 people comment.
I love that.
Why? Because it's, you know, you make it simple. When you make it simple and, you know, just believe it. And I kind of got off the subject there, but I'm like, that right there, it's just, you know, reaching out, talking, and I mean, that's it. You know, you get, if people believe you, they're going to believe in it. Yeah. I think that's it, truly.
Right. I totally agree with that. Okay, so to wrap up my notes here, I know you guys are like, who cares about Jenny's notes, but so another thing that you said, or I wrote this down that I sort of took from what you were saying, that whole concept of buyer's remorse or guilt takes over when excitement doesn't exist. That's what I took away from what you had to say. So in other words, if the coach is excited, if we're excited for the potential customer, if we are so excited for them to be in our challenge group and to experience what we have to offer and to start this journey, then most likely the spouse isn't going to necessarily rain on their parade if they carry that excitement through in their conversation. I've never thought of it that way, but I think that might have been how things happened for me when I started as a coach. I mean, I came home, my neighbor was my upline at the time. Julie was not my original upline. And I came home from a neighbor's party, and I told my husband, she sent me samples and she sent me all kinds of stuff, and I was like, I'm so excited to do this. And I literally was so excited because she was so excited. Her energy was just through the roof. I had no idea what it was. I had no idea what I was getting into, but I was so excited. And Chris was literally just like, whatever. Like, his literal words were like, if there's a money back guarantee, there's no harm in trying it. Right. So it's literally what you just said.
Yeah.
So,
And that's the first time that it ever happened was when one woman came back to me and she said, I want to do this so bad. But my husband's like, we've been down this road so many times and you get so upset and it's just so hard when it doesn't work. And I said, tell him there's a 30-day money back guarantee. He's got nothing to worry about. He was like, well, then get it.
yeah.
And it's my job to make sure she's successful.
Yeah.
It's my job to coach her through her weight journey, her health and fitness journey, so she doesn't pack it up and send it back because it didn't work for her. And
Yep.
she did not send it back. And, so they're both happy. He wants her to be happy. Or the wife wants her husband or, partner to just feel good and not feel defeated once again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a mic drop, in my opinion. Okay, I'm going to start this question thing off with my question, which is, I feel like every successful coach can quickly, this is sort of like a rapid fire question, I guess, but can probably answer this question pretty easily. Do you have specific questions that you ask potential customers or coaches that you feel like comes off your tongue often? Like, is there a certain question? For me, it's, what is your ultimate goal? I ask that question all the time. So, or are there any phrases or statements that you use when you're talking to people, whether it's through social media or in person?
The first thing I say is, where do you want to start? Where do you want to start? I know you want, you're ready to begin soon, but where do you want to start? And then, where do you want to be, so many months down the road? What is your goal? Are you doing this for a specific event? Are you what is it that you want? But that's where I always start, because where do you want to start? Because in my mind, if we get them to start, then we can get them going on this journey. Mm-hmm. But they need to think in their mind, okay, I am going to start. This time I'm going to start. I don't want to just talk about it and tell you about the product. Where do you want to start? What do you want? Mm-hmm. Because I can help you if I know. Mm-hmm. We can get you going. We can do this. But that's, go ahead.
If I was a psychologist, I would say that again is a very brilliant question to ask, because you're putting the ownership on them too. You're putting the ownership on, like, well, what do you want to get out of this? And you're waiting. I think a lot of us jump in with, here's what I have to offer you, as opposed to saying, what is it that you want? And then solving that need and saying, well, I can help you by X, Y, Z. So, okay. So does anybody have any questions? I know I took a lot of time, but does anybody have any questions that you guys want to ask Jama about anything she said? Just unmute yourself, or you can send it in the chat. We can look at it there. Either way.
I have a lot of questions. So one of them is, how many packets do you give away each month on average?
There is no average. It just depends. I don't always give them away. Sometimes I'll say, you know what? And that's another thing that from watching the Shea Stanford 2.0, which is like, there's a value to them. If I give one or two so they can try it and see if there's a flavor that they like, and sometimes I'll do that, but sometimes I'll say, you can get 5 for $20. And that's what Shea says. Start them with 5. Get them 5 days in, because you've got it right there. Or if they want to order a sample pack, I give them a free shaker cup since they're ordering that. I try. I won't give I used to at the beginning give 3, 4, 5. Here, take every flavor. Now I do write that off on my taxes, but I'm a record keeper, so I can say these packages, and I'm sure Jenny, you do the same thing. These packages, this person, here's my proof, here's what I did, and so I don't lose that money, but I also don't want people to go, oh, well, she'll just give you everything free. Well, no, I won't. But it just, so I guess it's I base it on case by case, really. But a couple, you know, what's your favorite flavor? Well, if it's chocolate, maybe I'll give a regular chocolate or a vegan chocolate. If, you know, they love chocolate.
Right.
Or if they, you know, so I just kind of, there's just no set one that I follow.
Yeah.
I kind of go by my gut.
I usually, just to chime in, I mean, this is something that I've learned through a lot of wasted mailings of samples. I usually, like I had a girl last week that was interested in, like, she asked me about Max 30, which led to a conversation about Beachbody On Demand streaming, and she didn't know that existed. And she wanted to join my challenge group because she had seen so many of my recipes on Facebook. So she knew that I had some nutrition knowledge, or I could help people with clean eating. And so she wanted to be in my group. She wanted the value that my group had to offer, and she wanted the workouts. So Shakeology was the only part of the conversation that we hadn't touched. So I asked her about it, and she said, well, I tried it like a year ago or something, and I did the strawberry for a month, and I didn't like it. Like, I ended up wasting the bag, so I'm nervous about ordering it again. In that case, like, I feel like I've got her. She's like so ready to join my group, right? And she knows that to get into my group, she has to have Shakeology. So this is the person that I hand delivered her a cafe latte and a vanilla, and I just was like, this is what I have on hand. I talked to her in person at her door, on her doorstep. You know, I was like, try these out. This is how you should mix them. Again, that face-to-face interaction, just because I was able to do that. But I haven't heard from her yet, because that was just like 3 days ago. But I feel like that was just, I just had a gut feeling. Like, it was, the conversation was going well. Does that make sense? But if it's somebody that just messages me like, hey, I want to try Shakeology, or can I get a sample of that? I'm like, sure, for $5. Do you want to PayPal me $5? Or if you want to, you know, order the sampler pack online, I'm not just a gift giver for random people, you know, so.
Because if they don't have to invest in themselves, they're not going to care.
Right.
When they're, you know, if they have to make a bit of an investment most of the time, then they're like, yeah, you know what, then they're more apt to do it. But again, you know, there's lots of them I still do give a couple flavors to, because I do believe that, you know, I don't get burned very often on them, but some, you know, you never hear from them again. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, lesson learned. But I'm still going to write it off on my taxes. So,
what does this Shay Stanford thing you keep talking about?
Go Shay, SEAY Stanford.com, or even look it up on YouTube. Shay Stanford, I think it's Shakeology 2.0. She's brilliant.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same video I just posted in the Let's Run group this weekend. So if you go to the Let's Run group, it should be at the top. I posted it Friday.
Yeah.
With the big boobs?
Yeah. Does she have big? Yeah. I think she's brilliant. I mean, she breaks it down, and, you know, she shows you the value. And she also has on her website the different, like, if you go in and you search for diabetes and Shakeology, you know, yes, she has that. You have the ability to go in there and search Crohn's and Shakeology, all the different diseases. Yeah, she's got, like I said, I have watched it 5 times because I'm like, how am I just, you know, really learning this? And there was one week, probably about a 2-week period over that time, that I would say, what's in your shake? You should know. Does your shake have, then I started naming the artificial sugars. Well, you know, it shouldn't. And then, you know, start saying, you know, what we do. I took it probiotic, probiotics, prebiotics. I can't even say it. But I kept picking different things. Adaptogens. She'll tell you, you know, these are the things you need to know about your shake. And it's so simple. What does your meal substitute, what does your shake have in it? Does it have this? Because it shouldn't, you know, you know, here's what you should have. And if yours has this, you know, flip your bag, look at your package. And I had so many people message me about that. I didn't know that. And, oh my gosh, mine has it. Well, shouldn't, you know, good meal replacement would not have that. Yeah. So just as simple as that that engages people because it's not saying mine is so much better than yours, or, you know, whatever is in your Thrive drink or whatever it is. They look and go, oh God, it does have that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And it goes, yeah.
Educating. Yeah, she actually has her PhD in nutrition, so she's like a legit, credible source, which I love, and she's obviously one of our top coaches.
Yeah.
I have another question. Are your challenge groups on Facebook?
Yes, they are. You know, I do, when we have the health bed, I do the tracker, but then again, you know, at my age, people don't have the most advanced phones, and they don't want to do, you know, they just don't, and they like that, being able to respond, being able to, I have people that are from, you know, different places in the U.S. that have never met, that, you know, are my challenge, and they become friends just because they start chatting back and forth, and some are more talkative than others. So yeah, Facebook is still the way I do it. You know, I don't know, I just can offer them more that way, at least my people. But there again, you know, might be an age thing.
If you aren't meeting people at events like a graduation or a wedding or something, how are you meeting people face to face? Just through wear and share and grocery store, that type of thing, or?
Everywhere I go, I'm at the post office, at the grocery store. You know, I meet a lot because I teach at our local gym, and I just talk a lot. I mean, this, you know, I just do. I talk about it so much that, you know, when I start talking about it, my husband's like, here she goes again with the 21-day fix. Oh my God, I've heard it a million times.
I love it.
But yeah, and you know, on Facebook, another thing that I do is, my challengers, I'm like, you know, guys, talk about it on your page. Or if they do talk about it on their page, I'm watching my people, and a lot of times they'll say, oh, you need to talk to Jama Nelson. Or they'll say, what is it that you're doing? I will friend them and then say, hey, I'm her coach. If you want, you know, if you want any more information, I'd be glad to help you. They're either going to accept it or they're not, but they're not my friend anyway. If they don't want to be, then, you know, what have I lost, right? But if they do want to know more, then I'm like, you know, I'll be the one to help you. Right. So, you know.
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard of this book or not. I know Julie's reading it right now, and there's a few of us reading it. It's called Fanatical Prospecting. I'm actually probably like, I don't know, I started it, I'm maybe like 50 pages in, but it talks about this exact thing on like how to meet more people and how to be constantly filling your pipeline. And this book is brilliant. It's like the best book that I've read as far as like skill set development. It's the best book that I've read in a long time for our business.
Need to get that.
But he talks about how the most successful people, the top 1% in every organization, are the people who are constantly fanatically prospecting, like wearing their wear and share, talking out about. I mean, I literally, you guys, sold Shakeology to my mailman yesterday. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, he pulled up, he wanted to know what it is he delivers. I taught him all about it in my driveway. And then I was like, my baby's inside napping. I can't stay out here very long. It's been like 2 whole minutes. I have to go back inside. And he was like, okay, so we friended each other on Facebook and we can continue the conversation. Like, I'm not going anywhere where it's not on my mind. I'm not going anywhere where, like, the Fixate cookbook is in both of our vehicles. Like, both Chris and I carry the Fixate cookbook everywhere. It's at my studio. I have boxes of sample packets in my car and sample packets in his car. I have mailing supplies in both cars. Like, I literally am just always prepared to talk about it with anybody. And I get the feeling that that's kind of how you are too, Jama, that you're constantly just ready to talk about it, ready to bring it up.
It's because it's easy to. And you know, it's easy to because I know it. I know it. I live it. I believe it. I mean, and that's probably, you know, continually having a group that I'm in, that I'm talking about, and I'm learning so much. They're again like, why should you drink all that water? You know, and I want to know. Mm-hmm. And so I have educated myself so much more through this process, because it's like, oh, I got to post today. Now the night before, I'll start researching, what do I want to post? What do I want them to know? Okay, what are some of the things that we've talked about before? How can I expand on it? Or, how can I, what does a protein do? What does a protein do? What happens, in low carb, or, all the different things that if someone will talk about in their question, I want to expand on it. So, I've learned so much more that's given me confidence too. So it's easy to talk about. Like I said, Ron's like, oh dear God, here she goes. Yeah. So I am excited about it. I'm excited about it all the time. I love how I feel. I love, I can go to my hairdresser and she's the first one to say to everybody, my God, look at her hair. Since she's been drinking this Shakeology, of course, my hairdresser drinks it too. Her hair, her nails, her skin, since, so, there again, that's some of my best advertisement, just things like that. But you just, if you're always prepared and if you really know what you're talking about, people are going to listen.
And if you're passionate and genuine, I mean, that's what I get from you, right? Like you do know your stuff, you've done your research, and you're educated about the nutrition, but at the same time, you're just genuinely excited about how you feel and how you make people feel. And so that comes across.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to be really mindful of your time. So let's take one more question. If anybody has any more questions, we will, go ahead and shoot. We might maybe just rapid fire this to Jama and then we'll shut it down. Any more questions?
Laura, unless you don't have one, or anyone. I have one more, but I'll let someone else go if they have it.
Oh, go ahead.
Anybody? Bueller? Katie?
Okay, my question is, sorry.
You're fine.
My question is, how, since you're really kind of intense with people at the beginning, you're helping them sometimes grocery shop or whatever, how do you pull back? Because I find that sometimes people then expect like an extreme level of hand-holding, and then because like, I don't know, I think leading up to a sale, it's like you're talking a lot and having a lot of engagement or whatever, but it's hard to keep that up with everybody all the time. So
I just think, here's what I think. I think I teach them, we talk about it, and I get them going on that path. I put so much in that Facebook group, and any questions they shoot to me, I do answer back, but I'm like, you're learning it now, it. They're a little shaky the first week or two. I'm like, don't beat yourself up. Don't, it will come naturally to you. You will learn this. Don't overthink what you're doing. As long as they stay calm and relaxed and go, okay, one, it's like, oh no, I bought peanut butter, the PB2, and I think it's got palm sugar, and I'm like, it doesn't have enough to hurt you. Don't throw it out. But next time, now you know better. For the next time you do this, just don't let them suck up all your time. I mean, if you've got one or two that, message you day and night, start answering them the next day, because they know. Those are usually the ones that are like, they're not 100% in, and they're kind of looking for an excuse or an out, or in a timely manner, fashion, help them out. But I'm not going to shop with them every week. I'm not going to cook their food. I'm not going to do that for them, but I will teach them what I do, and then they can take it from there. And you even mentioned that it's not. I have a printout that I have gone through, and you guys probably do this too. Where here's what you do. You the first thing you do, open your book, find out what bracket you fall in, you go through, and then I start giving hints. It's about 3 pages long of, don't overthink it, what your reds are, your greens are, that you can get a rotisserie chicken and pull that meat off the bone. You can have, you can make wraps with sliced ham and turkey if it doesn't have nitrates. Things that are, I just try to simplify it so that right off the bat, they've got something. And, I'll usually just print it out, besides having in our file section of that group, but I'll print it out and give it to them and say, here you go. If you have more questions than this, then we'll talk. But usually most of the questions, I keep a running sheet of that, and I'll add to it, so I don't have to answer those questions. Oh, my cat's getting up on the counter. Oops. Get down.
I was talking to Esther, I think it was, in our one-on-one last week, and she asked me about this whole concept of like going to the grocery with somebody. And I did that a few times, like early on in my business. I don't do it anymore, but I do think that there are some like, I don't know, better ways to manage your time if you find yourself in this predicament often. I do think that, again, kind of like the whole Shakeology samples thing, like you kind of have to go off of a gut feeling, right? If it's somebody that lives local to me and I really feel like I could really, really help them, if I just went with them for like 1 hour, I might do it. Now that I have the baby, I probably won't do it. So instead, what I do is, I have a video on my YouTube channel that's like super old, where I went through Kroger with a video camera. So you can see all the people that are like, what is that girl doing? And I literally show them, just like I have a video of my refrigerator and what my refrigerator looks like what I have in it. So all I do when I have a new customer, if they send me a text or they send me a message and they're like, oh my gosh, this meal prep thing is overwhelming, I send them just a video. I'm like, hopefully this will help you get through the grocery store, right? Or the same thing with like, here's a grocery list that you can use. We have blog content on the Body Electrics website, which is like, we have like a sample meal plan for Hammer and Chisel or 21 Day Fix that has like the legit meal items and ingredients that they need from the grocery store. It does not get any easier than that. You're telling them what to do. You're just not doing it for them. So, okay, but on that topic, I wanted to just share this, and I realize that we are way over time, but I don't know about you, but I'm having fun. But I feel like I needed to share this with you guys. I was going to do a live stream, but I'll do it here. I had this interesting thing happen where you guys know that I have my nutrition license. And every once in a while, people will ask me, like, how much does it cost to hire you as my nutritionist? Which I think is really funny, because if they can have such incredible value to just buy like Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology, and they kind of get me for free, So like, why would I charge you another $100 an hour or whatever? But anyways, that's beside the point. So I had this girl that I went to high school with who ordered a challenge pack from me several years ago. She's now living in town. I saw her at a farmer's market in the summer, and then randomly she reached out to me on my Facebook page. She said, hey, Jenny, I'm working in Fishers. She said, I was hoping that I could talk to you about hiring you to be my nutritionist. And I know this girl, right, from high school, so I know her personality. And so we got to talking, and she's training for an Ironman triathlon. And so I guess she's already done a couple of them, and she's doing another one, which is crazy because she wasn't even athletic in high school, kind of a weird situation. But anyway, so she starts asking me, she's like, I feel like I need to drop like 15 pounds. I feel like I can't dial in my nutrition. The coach that I hired for my triathlon training, this is the third coach that I've had, but they don't know anything about nutrition. So they're just telling me to cut out my sugar, but like they don't know how to teach me what to do. So like, I see your posts on Facebook. I know you're a nutritionist. Can I hire you? How much would it cost? And so I played with this. Like I literally played with it. Like I talked to Chris about it, and I'm like, what do I do? Like, do I legit sit down with this girl? Do I go with her to the grocery store? Do I charge her an hourly fee? Do I not even, do I talk about Shakeology but make that a secondary focus, or what? So I decided to just roll with it. I decided, because I do everything fly by the seat of your pants. And so I was like, oh, let's have a phone call. Like, we'll talk about it. So we had a phone call, and I talked to her about, she said she really needed to get her portions under control. So I'm like, oh, I actually have a really awesome part of my program. Like, this is the way I talked about it to her, you guys. Part of my program involves portion control. I actually have some containers that you can use to, that will help you with that. And she was like, oh, I used to measure my food with another coach a long time ago, and I hated doing that. It was so time, took a lot of my time. And I was like, well, but what if I could give you like an actual grocery list and an actual meal plan, and I could tell you how many calories to eat each day, and you didn't have to weigh your food. You just had to use the containers. And she's like, oh, that sounds good, right? So anyway, long story short, she doesn't want to be in my challenge group, didn't want to do Beachbody On Demand, but I got her set up with the Shakeology 21 Day Fix combo so that the way I treat the 21 Day Fix challenge pack is like a nutrition program. The workouts are just included. So that's what she purchased from me. And so what I did for her, this is funny, and I'm starting to do this with a lot of my clients, was I told her that I said, well, I need you to send me your current training plan with your approximate calories burned per workout. Because I need to know how many calories is she burning in her triathlon training. And then I said, I also want you to send me in an email what you've tried before that doesn't work. So she emailed me her training plan. She burns on average like 500 to 600 calories per workout. And she told me, I've tried all these other things. I've tried cutting out sugar and it just didn't work for me. I ended up caving, whatever. So what did I do, you guys? I went to page 27 of the 21-Day Fix meal plan book. I opened it up. She told me what her weight was. I plugged in her weight. I multiplied by 11. And instead of adding the 400 calories, I added 500 or 600 calories. And I came up with her meal plan, right? Because I looked at the bracket and I was like, you're in category B. And so I didn't tell her category B. I didn't say that's what she was. I just said, here's what you get each day. You get 4 purples, 3 greens. Like, I just did that for her. It took me less than 5 minutes, and I'm this amazing nutritionist, right? She's been texting me all week. This is amazing. Oh my gosh. And I'm like, I know, it's crazy. My friend Autumn is the best, right? So why would anybody, like, I feel like we all have this at our fingertips, right? We should all be positioning ourselves as, I never talk about myself as a nutritionist, even though I technically have that license, right? But I'm adding value in the world of nutrition so that I can do this sort of thing, and I can literally help them. I'm customizing their plan, AKA I'm filling out page 27 for them and then telling them how to move forward. Because most people won't do that. They will buy the program and they won't even open the book to that page and start the process. Okay, we are well over time. So Jama, thank you so much for all of your time.
I'm just very honored that you asked me. And
Well, I just love you. I think you're fantastic. I love seeing you. You're at every event. Funny, isn't it? Like, successful people are always at every event. I love seeing you at every event. And I've loved getting to know you. I hope we can continue to do that. So I know everybody here is grateful for your time. So you guys, this recording will be up on the team page tomorrow. Ellery is getting her 6-month vaccinations, so it might not be until tomorrow night, but I will have the recording in there tomorrow at some point. So
thank
awesome,
you
guys. Thank you so much, Jama. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for staying on. Bye-bye.